All right, let's talk about the NFC West free agency grades. Let's start off with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they brought in a backup quarterback to help Kyler Murray and Jacoby Brissett. So you can never be mad at getting one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL, especially considering Kyler Murray is not the healthiest player by any means. But the big time free agency move that I'm sure you want to talk about is Josh Sweat, a premier pass rusher on the Eagles who helped them on their Super Bowl run. Now, Josh Sweat is good for sure, but is it scheme dependent or can he translate that talent on a different team? I'm unsure. The Arizona Cardinals do not have the greatest defensive line room. They also brought in Calais Campbell, of course, and brought back Baron Browning. Of course, they drafted, I believe, Darius Williams last year. So they're trying to create something, but can Josh Sweat be the number one guy on that defensive line? I don't know. Overall, they got some defensive depth and defensive pieces because that's the biggest problem of the Arizona Cardinals last year. I'll give them a solid B minus for their free agency. Next, let's move on to the Rams. I might move the Cardinals up to a B, so I'm gonna give them a B. The Rams, I'm gonna give right off rep. I'm gonna tell you the grade. I'm gonna give them an A minus. The biggest thing that the Rams did is bring back Matthew Stafford, 100%. If they didn't have Matthew Stafford, they had no chance in hell to make a push to become a contender. Rams right now, arguably the second best team in the NFC. Of course, Matthew Stafford's great, but replacing Cooper Kupp with Devontae Adams is a steal of a move. That's great. And I think he's going to work very well with Puka. And although he's regressed, he's been healthier than both Puka and Cooper Cup. So, very good moves to help that offense. Brought some pieces to help the defense. Rams cooked in the free agency. Next, let's move over to the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers did not have the greatest free agency. They lost a lot of pieces. Fanga, of course, Greenlaw, but both players were injured, so I do think that is okay. They lost Debo Samuel, which a lot of 49ers fans have given up on, and they were going to lose Kyle Juszczyk, and then they re-signed him, so that was kind of weird. They brought in Mac Jones, kind of hilarious, considering people thought that Mac Jones on the 49ers would be a Super Bowl contender. And they got some other solid pieces like Pinnock and Richie Grant are cool safeties. They're in a tough situation because they got to pay Brock Purdy. All things considered, I'll give it a C type free agency. There's only so much they could do. And last but not least, the Seahawks. I personally think the Seahawks had a much better free agency than a lot of people think. Yes, they lost Geno Smith, and yes, they lost DK Metcalf, but replaced them with pretty good value and Cooper Cup and Darnold for less money, and you can replace a lot of that value in the draft. I'll give them a solid